The next step that we want to go through is how to create a list view. List views are pretty powerful. You can use Mapit for it. You can also, it's an easier way to do to narrow down your results for something. If you want to see all of your veterans in one list, you can do that definitely. If you want to see a certain zip code, you can create a list specifically for that zip code. So let's go ahead and get started. To begin creating a new list, we'll click on this gear icon. And
does it have to be under leads?
no, you can create a list view under your leads tab, your accounts tab, and your sales appointments tab. So again, if you're on your leads tab, your leads tab, click on the gear icon. It's that little sprocket right here. Sorry, Todd, am I
No, you're
way?
good. You're
Right
good.
there. Oh, bench weird for that. So hit your new button. This is to prompt creating a list view. Give it a title. So let's do leads within 77494. It's a zip code down in Houston. Hit our save button. Now it's going to default to just a general My Leads list. We need to narrow it down to a zip code. To do that, we're going to click Add Filter. In our field, we're going to find zip code equals as our operator. And in our value, we'll type in 77494 for our zip code.
So we went to the, she goes to,
I can do it again.
okay. Okay, so we're gonna go to,
So I'll start over.
okay.
So again, on your Leads tab, click on the gear icon and hit New. This is to prompt creating a new list view.
Okay.
Now, when you're on an account tab, there's going to be a new button. That's to create a new account. You have to go to that gear icon first. So again, New. Title your list view. Leads within 77494. Hit. Yeah, unless you have any leads in 7794 or 494. You got leads in Katy, Texas? All right, hit save. And again, it's going to go to a default of your leads, just My Leads. We need to narrow down our search to only that zip code. Click Add Filter. And in our field, let's find zip code so that we can tell Salesforce to only look at a specific zip code. In our value, we're going to type.
Shipping zip code, is that what it would be?
That's for an account, it's mailing zip code.
So well, it doesn't have just zip code under it.
Yeah, it does at the bottom.
If you're on an account, if you're creating a list view under an account page, it's mailing zip code.
Okay.
So I don't know if everyone caught that. If you're creating a list view under an account, your address is mailing street, mailing city, mailing state, mailing zip code, instead of just city, state, zip code, and so forth. So type in 77494. Hit done. Now,
What's the value? I didn't see. What did you put in for value?
your zip code. So 77494.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. And then make sure you hit done afterwards. And then to have Salesforce refresh to contain just that zip code, we have to click the Save button. If you don't hit Save, you're not looking at that specific zip code then.
Okay.
Make sure you hit Save.
Wow.
Now, let's say our list view, we need that full address on there so that we know what we're looking at, right? But right now, it's not showing that. So let's go back to our gear icon. And And then down here to select fields to display, this is where we will choose what fields we want to display.
Ah, can you do all of them?
All right.
I think there's a limit, but there's a lot that you can put on there. So, for instance, we don't need this company on here. That's not filled, so we don't need it on there. I'm just going to highlight it, and then click the remove button in the middle. So essentially, if I don't trip, right here is our available fields. This is what we can choose from. And then here in our visible fields is what we currently have in our list. So if you want to take anything out, you'll just highlight in this box and click the remove. If there's anything that you want to add, highlight in this box and click the add button. So for instance, let's find street. Highlight, click this add button. I want this next to the state. I can bring it up just by highlighting again and click the up arrow.
Oh, great.
Everything in these available fields is going to be alphabetized, so it's all in alphabetical order. Hit save once you have all of your fields that you want on your list. This will prompt Salesforce to refresh your list for your fields that you have requested. And now we can see our complete addresses. This is then where you can use the Map It functionality and select the records that you want to map. And again, make sure you have a full address, otherwise Map It's going to error out on you. And then map leads. Now on the account side, when you want to map leads from a list view, to jump gears real quick. Let's go to a list view. Accounts, no presentation given. If I select the records that I want to map, down here next to the drop-down arrow is map accounts.
Yes, thank you.
It's just hidden. We can only have so many buttons up there, and so map accounts has to be in that drop-down arrow. So again, on the account
How did
side.
you get that? I'm sorry, I
Sure,
lost
sure.
a step on
So
that.
I switched paces real quick, and we're now looking at the accounts list
Oh, okay.
view.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah. So I went into an account list view. I selected the records that I need, and then down here or up here at the drop-down arrow is your Map Accounts button. So while on the lead side it's right there, and you can just click the button. Accounts, you have to click on the drop-down arrow.
I got a question. If I wanted to make a list of my veteran accounts that I have,
Yeah.
okay, what would be
The field to use
yeah,
is a veteran.
well, I tried that and it,
If you don't have that box checked off on your accounts, it's not going to fill in that list view. So that's a great point to put in that. If you're not utilizing those check boxes, you can't utilize that call list or that list view then. So make sure you're updating your information in Salesforce so that you can utilize it, you can use it. So then you can populate your list views. But there are a ton of list views that are already created for you. That recently transferred to me is one of them. And sorry, I know I'm sitting and people can't see me in the back. Honestly, there's plenty of list views that are already created. I would definitely suggest going through those and seeing what is already there. If you find a list view that you like, but maybe you want to narrow it down a little bit. So let's do. Let's go back to one of the list views that we had. Leads within 77494. we like how this is formatted, but we maybe need to change the zip code. You can come back over here to our gear icon, hit clone, and effectively what this button does, it saves your selected fields to display, and it has all of your filters that you already used, but it's creating another list view just like what you already have. So again, clone. Let's do leads within 77019. Then I can just come into our filter for our zip code and change this from 77494 to 77019. Hit done and save. And now we have 2 list views, and now I don't have to go back and do that selected fields to display. It's already done for me. Yes?
When I'm creating a list view for like direct mail leads, for example, I know I would use the campaign as the field, but there are 4 or 5 different options for campaign. Can you tell me which one it is?
So, really glad you brought this up. Campaign channel is the beginning of your campaign. Your grassroots is your channel. Direct mail is your channel. Seminar is your channel. But if you perhaps don't know what you technically want to search for, use primary campaign, and that captures your entire campaign name. So grassroots, community events, your grocery store, or whatever the name is. So I would use primary campaign and then contains as your operator, because then it's going to look for anything within that name. So again, you can go up here to your filter, add a filter for primary campaign. And then in your operator, change that to contains. The reason why I say contains is a lot more forgiving than equals when you're creating these list views. So if I just type in grass, it's going to find any campaign that has grass in the name. Rather than if I do equals, then it has to say exactly just grass.
Is equals case sensitive?
It's not, but again, best bet is to do contains. Contains is your friend, equals is your enemy. That's what I say. So again, hit done and then save. And he may not have any to that.
Would that be the same as leads and accounts? Okay.
Yeah. Primary campaign is through leads and accounts. If you want to take out one of your filters that you have on here, you don't like it, for instance, because I put this primary campaign contains grassroots, nothing showed up, I can just click this X button, hit save again, and now I'm only looking at that one particular filter.
If you have a list that you've made and you don't need it anymore, how do you get rid of it?
Back at that gear icon, delete.
Oh, duh.
Your gear icon is basically the control system of your list views.
Gotcha.
Now, you cannot delete something that we created for you. We put it there for a reason. A comma in between. So, for instance, if I want Houston and I want Katy, Texas, I can put a comma, then type in Katy, and it's effectively telling the system Houston and Katy. Just hit done and save, and it'll refresh. So again, putting a comma on these fields is basically telling Salesforce and. So if you have, you want unworked and open leads, you could do lead status equals unworked, comma, open. So you're looking at both unworked and open. Any questions about creating list views? You can pretty much make a list view on almost anything. You can create a list view on veterans, on people that say do not call. Well, if they mark do not call, maybe they need a letter sent to them. You could add a filter that says do not call equals true, or do not mail equals true, so then you can call them. You can use a list view to use as a call list. For instance, let's go to, if we add the phone number to this list, hit save. If we're on our mobile device, we can pull up this list view, go into the account, call the record, and it'll prompt you to, after you've hung up, to then enter your task information for what happened on your call. So you're not having to go back into Salesforce, find that record, and then update them.